What about the stars, the great stars they had in those days? That, I mean, people always say we don't have nowadays.
Well,
we don't. That's
no.
true, because they're not processed in the way that they used to.
I don't think that they don't exist.
They don't exist.
They don't exist.
Well, why is that?
Because they exist. They're singers. In the old days, the greatest thing in the world to be was a movie star.
Yes.
Today, the greatest thing in the world is to be a pop singer. There will never be a great star unless the greatest thing in the world to be is that kind of star.
I see.
At the end of the last century and before the First World War, the greatest thing in the world.
Yes.
And people used to faint in the streets when they saw an opera singer. And then there came the movie stars. I think, you see, I think any form of entertainment only exists because it corresponds to a moment in time, you know? So that, of course, there are actors who are as good or as remarkable or
yes.
as space-displacing or whatever,
yes.
However you want to describe a star.
Yes.
But the world doesn't think being a movie star is the everlasting end.
No.
And it used to, and that's why they
right.
don't exist.
That's right. I was going to ask you, in effect, it brought us right back to the beginning of our conversation. Were they, in fact, just great stars, or were they just part of an illusion?
They were great. They were great. I think that Keaton and Garbo, my goodness, Cagney. I won't talk about Bogart because everybody does. I loved him very much, but I think we can get along without talking about Bogart for about 3 years, and his shade will be relieved.
Yes.
But Cagney, in my view, was maybe the greatest actor who ever appeared in front of the camera.
Really?
Yes.
James Cagney?
Yes.
Why was that? What was this? What makes you
First of all, he broke every rule about movie acting. He came, you see, the first thing that every stage actor says is, I learned to act to the camera because you have to do less. You can't do that. What you do at the National Theater, you have to act for the camera and so on. Cagney came on as though we were playing to an audience of 4,500 people. He acted at the top of his bent, and he never hammed for one moment, thus proving my point that hamming is not overacting. It is false acting. It's fakery.
Mm.
And there's not a fake minute in a Cagney movie. Please have a season of him.
Yeah.
And study what he was.
In fact, I was thinking the other day about the people I haven't interviewed who I'd love to, and I think he comes somewhere.
He won't come.
I know.
He won't come. He won't.
Complete recluse now, isn't he?
Yes. Well, no, but he won't come in front of a camera.
No.
He goes out and does his thing, and he goes to Hollywood for 6 months every year. He sees his old cronies and so on. But in all his life, you know, he was like Tracy and a lot of people. He never went to a nightclub once, never went out. You know, he was a totally invisible. You know, Garbo wasn't the only one.
No.
There was just a small group who went to Macambo and slugged the photographers and did all that scene, you know. That was the rest of them were homebodies, you know.
When you talk, it depends what they got at home, of course.
Yes.
Yeah. When you talked to me last time, you said something about, I think your friend Akim Tamirov said about acting, either the camera loves you or the camera doesn't. I presume that was true, more true about Garbo than anybody else, wasn't it?
Yes, I suppose that anybody. Mm. And of course, it's a great mystery. I don't know if you've ever seen those commercials she did.
No.
When I went to Stockholm years ago, they showed me in their film institute there 2 commercials for bread that she made to be shown in movie theaters. And there was this great galumphing Swedish cow having a picnic. There was nothing to show you that you were looking at the most divine creature who would ever be on the screen. And 2 years later, she was Greta Garbo. Now, I have no explanation whatsoever for that.
Surgery.
No, just... I have no idea what there is about the camera, what that box does, yes. What made Cooper so thrilling on the screen and convincing. And when you'd visit Gary Cooper on the set and you'd see him do a take, as I did a couple of times to go out to lunch with him, I'd stand and watch, and they'd finish the take, and the director would say, okay, that's a print. I'd say, they can't use that. I'd say to myself, that's nothing. Then you'd see the rushes. Magic. You know? Showing that it isn't There isn't any rule at all that explains it.
No.